You're listening to For Better and Worse with Jess and Rach. All right, Jess, take a deep breath. All right, welcome back to the podcast, everyone. I'm Rach.
And I'm Jess.
And this is no longer my childhood bedroom.
No, we've upgraded to the basement.
To the basement,
and
which
who
is
knows,
where I live now.
Also, who knows what went down in the basement in Rach's childhood home? You know, the basement was like, ooh, we're away from our parents.
A lot of Twister.
A lot of twist. Ooh. A lot of strip poker. A lot of awkward couch hangs.
Nah, girl, I was real self-conscious as a child. I did not play strip poker.
Yeah, I don't know who did.
But I did play, I twisted it. I was twisted.
Twister.
Twister.
Truth or dare action.
Yeah, for sure.
There's 2 closets here, so I know you played 7 minutes in the closet. 7 minutes? What a long time.
It's also 7 minutes in heaven.
I'm trying to say it was never heaven for me. It was always like absolute panic.
I really, honestly, though, never had people over, really, I don't think.
What a shame.
My dad was a little bit of a hermit, made things kind of weird. But, you know, we're here now. In high school, I had some things that I called fancy lady parties, which is when me and my friends would get Arbor Mist.
Ooh.
Do you recall that wine spritzer bullshit?
Yes, Arbor Mist.
Not unlike my pink Moscato today. And someone would bring a random bottle of something from their back of their parents' liquor cabinet, and we would get absolutely shit-faced, and my sister had a sixth sense, would come home and have to deal with it. My sister, God bless you, Laura, has showered too many of my friends after they have puked at my house and my doing.
Arbor Mist?
Oh, no. One of my friends brought Bacardi 151, which is no longer in circulation anymore because
it's death.
lighter fluid, basically.
Yeah.
And 13-year-olds, or I won't say I was 13. We were too young.
Too young to
freshman
drink.
going to sophomore. What's that? Whatever.
Appropriate age. Start experimenting.
Yeah. So, not that happened in this house.
Sherry.
Shh, don't talk about my mom really gets mad when she finds out that I did that stuff when she wasn't home. She gets really embarrassed.
It's okay.
For me.
You're still a good mom.
Yeah. But
Don't ask me about mine. What I used to do.
You had Project X level parties.
We did. Ask anyone if you're listening and you were from Brunswick. You know. We're not any normal hometown.
Do you think you're
in the class of 09, 10 and 9, we were awesome.
Do you think like you guys are like the legends of Brunswick High School?
I actually don't know. Like, has the shit continued? Has it got worse? If anyone knows, let me know. Because I would say that it was pretty top notch level. Like when Joe hears about my high school stories, he's like, no way. Like to the level of extent that we went to party was so extreme that I would park at my dad's house, and my mom is like, my parents were divorced, so my mom's like, I'm in charge of you. Like, obviously, like, what are you doing tonight? I would tell her. She's like, I think you're lying. I'm like, I'm not. And she's like, I know you're going. Dad's out of town. I know he's out of town. I'm like, I'm not going there. I would buy black sheets and cover the garage door so that when she would look in, she would see nothing. But my car was parked right in that garage. And then I would have my friends park down the street.
Where did she think you were? At your friend's house?
We would shuttle your ass. Like, hey, call us when you're here. Down when they park down the street, and we're like, we'll drive someone to go pick you up.
Someone in their mom's minivan just riding the shuttle bus?
We would shuttle you to the party. Epic.
Oh my God.
Please write in if you have any stories about parties in high school at Papa Cardelloni's. Let me know.
Wild. I do have a fess up moment. Last week I got a little bit on my high horse about my low key dog. Literally the day after I was like, Barley, all I have to do is like shake her food.
She ran away.
Yep. Didn't like run away. She ran to like the neighbor's house and around the woods. But the bitch cannot be trusted. I will tell you that.
No dogs, no animals can be trusted.
No, it's like they get on a smell and nothing can get them from it. But it's like she has a lead out back. Okay. I'm a good dog parent, but it was raining, and normally she does not like the rain. Like, she doesn't like walking in the rain. So she just like comes in and out. But today she got on a smell train that day.
So what happened? How did you get her back?
I had to walk and grab her collar. Why, when I leave the house, I don't just grab a leash? I'll never know. Why do I grab like her food, my shoes, not the leash? Because then I'm like dragging
about, like,
her
getting
back.
her back. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, once you have hands on her, it's like, okay, she's safe. Like,
I know.
Back. So scary.
I love the idea of like a free range dog. Like, you ever see those like TikToks or like heartwarming videos of like the dog that roams the neighborhood and like goes to his neighbor's house and hangs out there. I would love to have that dog.
I just don't believe that's even attainable. Also, like, what are the expectations you're putting on that dog? They don't know.
They don't know.
Now that I'm in dog training, my mindset's changed.
Now that you're basically a trainer yourself.
Basically a trainer myself.
How's that going?
Good. Let's go. We did recall this week, and Olive picked up on it really well. So
awesome.
Yeah, so like we just kind of have to move it into like outdoors, and then get like a 20-foot leash and kind of use it in a bigger area. So
I have heard that. So it's like, where do you even get a 20-foot leash?
Amazon. We will progress, but I'm excited. I'm excited to have a well-trained dog. I feel like she's picking up on it. Walks are great. Joe and I love walks with Pickle and Olive.
Good.
And they walk next to each other. It's actually enjoyable.
Good.
Shout out Miracle Canine.
Good.
Yeah, on the west side. Look them up.
I got a hands-free leash for jogging with Barley. Changed the game.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
It's like she gets it. I don't know. Like, something about like, I don't know. She ran an entire mile without stopping today.
That's so good.
And so did I, not to brag.
No shame.
No shame.
That's so good, Rach.
I know. Coming from, she used to, when I first got her, the vet in like the shelter I got her from, like, aged her a year and a half. But there just was no way. Like, she didn't grow really with me, but like, she was not that old. Like, she might have been like 10 months, 11 months. I don't really know. Because like, she would get tired on walks. She would literally sit in the middle of the road if we went on.
You gotta build that stamina. She didn't know that though.
I know, she was just a baby, but now she's
so she
just
like paced with you while you walk, like while you ran, like she's at your pace.
She's at my pace.
You know how long that takes huskies to train to do that?
Well, sometimes, I'm a slow runner, so like Barley's either doing like a slow jog kind of behind me, or she's like full gallop. But I mean, it works.
Yeah,
we get there.
That's so good. Wow, proud of both of you.
Yes. I think we have a TikTok question, another one of those.
Yeah, let's keep that going.
I think it goes along with what we were asked last week. It kind of goes into divorce Q&A. But the question was, how did my parents react to my divorce? And the answer to that is they were, I think, relieved. My mom was like pretty supportive of me figuring it out. But when she heard that I no longer wanted kids, that's when she was like, oh, because I was like the girl at the McDonald's play place playing with the other like babies. And like, I've always like had that like motherly like instinct. And so she was like, this is fricked up. And I think my dad was like, all right, what kind of money you need? Like, let me know. Because they knew I just wasn't myself. So on my end, my parents were supportive. They were equally supportive had I have chosen to stay or leave, but I think they were happy to have me back.
Yeah.
So that's the answer to that question.
Which makes things easier.
Yes.
Having your parents support you and be like, let's not think about this, you know?
Yeah.
Like, your parents were both like, we've seen
you
stray away from yourself and we want Rach back and we support this decision.
Right.
Financially and emotionally.
Yes.
Which is great.
How was your week thus far?
It was good. I had a good week. I got the second dose of the vaccine.
Nice.
#vaccinated.
God, I want to be vaccinated before wedding season.
COVID doesn't stand a chance on this bitch.
Oh.
But I will say the second vaccine knocked me the fuck out.
Did it?
Yes. I was laid up on the couch. I was like, I'll be fine, right? I knew it was coming. It's one of the weirdest things to plan for being sick. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you never know when you're about to get sick. Like just when COVID hits, just when the flu hits, you actually have no idea. You can't plan for that. It just hits you and then you're like, fuck, now I deal with it. But knowing with everyone saying, hey, second vaccine is a little different. You might feel these symptoms. So I had to like plan for it. I'm like, I know it's happening. I know it's happening. And they say 12 hours after the vaccine, you'll experience symptoms. And so mine actually hit probably like 7 hours after.
Okay.
So before. So just a little disclaimer. It's not
exact science.
Yeah, it's not an exact science of this shit. But no, I got body aches. I had the chills. I had a fever. It was really weird. So, and Joe went out with his friends that night, and I am one of those to like suffer alone. So I was like not upset that he was leaving or anything. I was like, I'd rather just like sit here and binge 90 Day Fiance and do absolutely nothing. So I felt like shit, and I was like, you know what, I can use. Someone's like, hey, if you take Advil, these like symptoms can kind of subside a little bit, and you can like bring the fever down. Advil's totally okay. So I texted Joe. I was like, hey, can you grab me some Advil and NyQuil before you come home? And that dude DoorDashed that shit to me.
Aww.
So sweet. I know, but it's like how dope of a place that we live in now that you can like DoorDash meds to yourself.
Right. That's wild.
I know. But I was super thankful because, you know, he was either staying out late or just wanted me to have them immediately, whatever. Yeah. But it was so nice. And once they got there, I literally was so sick. And it was like, I couldn't like get up off the couch. I ordered BB Bop to eat. So I was like, you know, I'm DoorDashing. Like, I don't want to cook. I don't feel well. But, like, this sounds good. Little rice, healthy, BB Bop, whatever. I let that thing sit out there for an hour and a half because I couldn't get off the couch. That's how bad my body felt. Well, and even with the meds, too, I was like, I know.
If you never had COVID, right?
No.
So, yeah, that's how I felt when I had COVID. Was like, I am melting into this bed now.
Yes, but it was like, I'm not like, I was fatigued.
Yeah.
But I was like still just like my body was just really tense from being like achy and chilly.
Yeah.
And I just was like, I'm more comfortable sitting here than if I get up and move.
Yeah.
It was so bizarre. So.
But it didn't last that long?
No, it lasted like 24 hours. In the morning, I took Advil and my fever definitely broke because like I was sweating and I was literally on the couch. I was pouring sweat drinking coffee.
Oh my God.
And I was like, my vagina is sweating. Like that's so much sweat. It was like the under boob. Like I'm talking sweaty in places. Just like it's all coming out. And Joe's like, this is so good. Like your fever is breaking. And I'm like, I am so uncomfortable. Oh. That's how I felt the whole time after the vaccine. Because I'm like, I know I'm not actively sick. I just know that I'm really uncomfortable.
My vagina's sweating.
Oh, it was like all the creases down under. And
Did you play volleyball?
No.
Okay. I have this theory because like my ass and my vagina sweat so bad. And I have a theory that it's because like my body was trained to sweat from wearing spandex. It's like it doesn't know that it's not wearing them anymore because it's just like.
Or is it like big booty girls sweat there?
I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's uncomfortable. So
not that I have a big booty. I'm just saying I don't. So I don't know. I feel like volleyball girls have big booties though.
I don't know.
That's facts.
My booty came with age.
You never had a plump boy?
No, not until it was weird. It was like after I had my eating disorder like bad in college and like got down in weight a lot. And then once I like had gained weight after that, that's when it came. So whether that was maturity or just like my body God's gift for like way to not be anorexic anymore. I got an ass, so we're not mad.
Yeah, we're not mad. Cheers to that. But yeah, so vaccine sucked. You know it's temporary.
It's good.
So stick with it.
COVID's worse.
I had COVID and also it's like
so
I know
long.
it's working because you show symptoms.
Yeah.
So it was thankful to be done. So I got it Saturday morning at 10 a.m. My symptoms subsided Sunday around noon.
Yeah. I want the vaccine so bad so I don't have to spend another freaking year around maskless idiots at weddings.
Right. How about you? How was your week, Rach?
It was good. It's this kind of the same old of like opening another business and trying to juggle the one I currently have. Been doing a little bit better on it this week.
Good.
Yeah, just trying to get into like a swing of things. Weirdly, I feel like the busier I am, the more organized I can be, like with my time. You know, like when I just have like one thing to do, it's like I can do it whenever. Like being more
Time is of the essence at this point.
time is of the essence.
Period.
My sanity is running low. Very low. But I mean, I had time to reorganize our entire setup. Hello.
It looks so good. I'm just going to tell everyone who can't see, it is spacious, it is bright, it is lovely, it is giving us all the energy we need.
Good. I was really hesitant to have it down here because I was explaining to Jess earlier, like the carpet that lives down here in the basement, and this isn't even the basement, this is like the second to last layer of this house. But the carpet that lives here, houses have layers.
Instead of floors, we're calling them layers.
Yes, this is the second to last layer.
Yeah.
Has been here, I don't know, 20 years. I don't know. I don't remember. I wasn't cognitive at the time of it. But, cleaning this carpet. It's been through a lot of like dog potty training, cats figuring it out. I don't know. So I cleaned the carpets for like the 400th time. And it worked this time.
It looks great down here.
Yeah, so we're happy.
Happy to be here.
We're happy to be here. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so we actually switched it up completely last minute.
Yeah, when we got here, we talked for 2 hours, and it was like, we don't really feel like doing anything serious. So we do have a great episode coming up that we didn't feel like delivering today, but we wanted to just talk about some funny wedding stories because that has been a request before. I wanted to show you.
Oh my God.
This is, I think, the second wedding. This is the whatever they call it, favor.
Yes.
Chris and Breen.
I will never forget.
Progressive field wedding.
Yes.
Never forget.
I will never forget this wedding because you corrected me technically at this wedding. So that's what sticks out to me.
The hot sweat of like, shit.
Yeah, but you're
wrong.
like, yeah. I mean, it's not super big, but it was one thing that that sticks out to me. But yeah, I used to follow Rach around for 2 years. Shadow shooting, second shooting.
Yeah, just learning the game. You've seen a lot. You've seen a lot with me, and I can't wait to hear some of your stories from weddings that I wasn't even at, because we have seen some shit.
We've seen some shit. If you think about it, we have a really weird job, right? We see people on their wedding days. We see them through it, right? It's most people.
Yeah.
For most people, it's the happiest day of their life. Some people, it's the most stressful,
And sometimes just both.
and sometimes both, right? So it's like we're there to document it, to capture it, to be there for everything, every part of it. So it's either we're combating family drama or we're along for the ride.
Right. But sometimes people pull out some shit, man.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get into it, honestly.
Can't wait to get into it. We're not shit talking anyone here.
But we will be making fun of people. Loosely.
Loosely, because it's what we do, and this is how we cope. We use humor. So,
in quoting the great Jerry Steinmetz, if you don't like it, it's not for you.
Feeney. Mrs. Feeney.
Stuff like this is hard because obviously these are like our couples that we love. But sometimes I don't feel like I have a responsibility to love everyone that goes to their weddings. Like, none of my stories am I shit talking my actual couples.
No.
But
no, because it's not them specifically.
No.
It's like what happens during the day.
Right.
Okay, but also what happens to us. So we have funny stories too, like what's the most embarrassing story? What's a funny story that happened to you at a wedding? Craziest story that happened to you at a wedding? And boy, do we have them.
Right. I mean, because when you think about it, it's like our job is like people on like their craziest day. The day has like a lot of weight to it, but also like we're dealing with masses of drunk people. You know what I mean? Like we got the stress alcohol combo.
Yeah,
and
we
do. Are navigating that.
Dodging bullets.
Right.
Left and right from that.
I've heard some. Oh, I also have another. We'll start with this. This was a wedding story that I just heard. I was not there, but one of my best friends was a bridesmaid at this wedding. Sometimes people just like, you don't think, right? Like, let's think this through. And for whatever reason, the groom and his groomsmen were going to run a half marathon the morning of the wedding.
They're that family.
Right. It's like they're the turkey trotters. They are the people.
Oh my God.
Which like I get that. Like I try to exercise before all of our podcast episodes just so I'm like in the best mood. So it's like I get like do a little workout,
The
like be in
endorphins,
your best
get the
mood.
stress release.
A half marathon in the summer right before your wedding. Everyone involved.
Overachiever.
Guys,
Sit down, would
yeah,
you?
so-
Jesus.
I guess what had happened at this wedding was the brother of the groom was severely dehydrated and couldn't make it down the aisle
Because of the half marathon.
because
he
of the
ran
half
before
marathon he
the
ran
wedding.
in the summer before the wedding. And the groom's parents were like, "Oh no, sweet baby." Right after the ceremony, they took him to the hospital,
Oh God.
which like all they did was literally pump him with fluids.
Well, yeah.
But then the parents didn't come back. They stayed. They like missed the groom and they missed the wedding. Like they missed the whole reception.
So
everything.
there was a family emergency happening during this wedding, and they didn't return.
Right. But it's like send the aunt. Like if you want someone like don't miss your other child's
Obviously,
wedding.
you know he's dehydrated. Like he's okay.
But guys, like okay, so just I guess lesson number 1, don't run an extended amount if you're untrained and you know, on
Do
your wedding
less.
day. Do less. Yeah.
Do less. Okay. You don't have to be out here
Do
doing
a quick
the most.
circuit training. Flip some tires if you must. Don't run over 10 miles for funsies. It just, no. Your body
Yeah,
needs
nothing
you
to
that
prove.
day. Your body needs you that day.
Yeah, it does. It's a lot.
It's
a
a lot.
big day.
But I wasn't even there for that. But that is
That's
what
funny.
that just struck my mind.
That's funny. Okay. So do you want to get into stuff that happened to us during weddings?
Yeah, I want to hear one of yours.
Okay. Mine are like doubled up.
Nice.
Okay. Confession. This is my wedding story. I pissed my pants at 2 separate weddings while I was shooting them.
What?
In my first year of shooting weddings.
like from laughing?
Full on peed my pants. Okay, this is a disclaimer. When I drink beer, I tend to obtain a bladder problem. Like it just doesn't register. It's really short. And hey,
It's just like emergency pee.
yeah, and it's only beer. And I've come to find this out like when I drink, but I always have a bathroom near me. But I feel like you're a wedding photographer, you're like on your feet, you're doing things all the time, right? Like it's like you're not really thinking about you having to pee. The last thing you're thinking about is you on your wedding day. But if you're a wedding photographer and you choose not to drink at your clients' weddings, you choose the profesh life. Dope. Love that for you. But that ain't me.
You just have like a beer or two. You're not like getting drunk.
No. Yeah. No, not at all. It's like I do my best work with a little edge off, you know?
Yeah.
And I just have like a few drinks with them. I can let loose a little bit, show that I'm hanging out with them, partying with them, but I am not getting blacked out drunk. That's not what I mean. But so I was drinking. I had a beer. I think it was like 2 beers at that point. I was dancing on the floor. I was doing the classic dancing, taking pictures, as most photographers do, right? Hitting it up on the dance floor. Had to pee, recognized it, and I was like, okay, I've kind of put this off for too long, and I kind of know my issues. So I went to the facilities, as one does, because I'm like, let me scope that sitch out. Gotta go. And now I realize I'm like, I got a strict timeline here.
You don't got time to wait in line.
No.
Oh.
And with that, I noticed that there was a line, and I knew that I had about 30 seconds left. I was coming close to the end here. So there's a line outside the bathroom. Brainstorm. What the fuck did I do? Woods. See him right over there. It's a backyard wedding. I go, woods. All of a sudden, when I had made up my mind about the woods decision, immediate pee down my legs. My saving grace. I mean, I'm talking full-fledged down my legs. Waterfall. And I thankfully was
Has your doctor recommended Kegels or no?
We've talked about it.
Okay, good.
Not my doctor, but I think about that for myself. But no matter what, it just was like, I don't know what it is. We'll figure that out later. But I thankfully was wearing this Free People dress that was big and like went down to my ankles. It was real flowy. So It's in the summer. I'm literally just like peed on my legs and I'm holding my dress up and walking and peeing and walking towards
not
the
to
woods.
look suspicious.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm like, I know I look sus as fuck, but I'm like, I don't care. I'm a wedding photographer. I'm just acting normal. So I go in between these two cars in this backyard wedding, and then I continue to pee, empty out my bladder, and ditch my expensive Spanx in the woods. There they are. RIP. Rest in peace. Good Spanx in this backyard wedding. Sorry for the people who own that house. My Spanx, full of urine, are there. And I go back. The full fucking no underwear on.
Free balling
It out. Grabbed another beer. Cheers my second shooter and said, let's get back to it.
I
dried it off. Did like a like
do I know
your
second shooter?
100%.
Oh my God.
Will I tell this person? Maybe.
They don't know.
No. I wish I would have told this person, but I wasn't ready. Because I didn't want to I wasn't embarrassed. So I was like kind of laughing about it because this isn't the first time this happened, because it happens a second time at a wedding. And God. I had one beer, one Miller Lite, just like everyone's enjoying dinner. This is my time, right? I've taken all the pictures.
You love a Miller Lite.
I kind of love a good Mill. You know what I mean? It's not high in ABV. It's just like a nice little edge taker offer.
We love to see it.
And it was a college friend's wedding. Dope. Loved it. Everything was so cool. Everything was going great. And then I found these other college friends that were there, obviously guests that I went to college with. And they're like, take a BG photo. And I was like, hell yeah, I love this for us. And I was the one taking it of like all the people who went to BG. And mid-shudder, all of a sudden, my bladder just loses control. Mid-pee, mid-pee, immediate pee, down my fucking legs. And I do this like awkward gesture and fucking beeline to the bathroom. And I had to intervene. And I had to do a dryer situation. I was luckily wearing black overalls. So I was very lucky that it wasn't like
gray.
Any of the other shit I wear to weddings, though. It's like that would have shown. But like I had an hour left and I'm like, I'm soaked. I'm fucking soaked because like that dress makes sense. I could air out. It was just my legs. So I needed to dry off my legs. But the overall situation is like, I'm soaked.
Yeah. Wet jeans are never good.
No, it's like, there's no way to dry. It's like, I'm not going to stand with my ass up to the dryer for like 20 minutes at the wedding. Got to get back.
Oh my God, Jess, you've never told me this.
No. Hashtag bladder problem. Trying to figure it out. Hashtag send help.
Hashtag send advice. Yeah. If you're a medical professional and you listen, is there a reason for this? I'm concerned.
But it's also like,
it's only beer.
I wasn't like, yeah, it's only beer. I also wasn't like devastated. It was like, the one at the college friend's wedding, the dress was one thing. It was like, I knew that it wasn't going to show. And I knew that I was peeing through my Spanx and my Spanx were absorbing it. And then I knew I would ditch the Spanx. I knew I could just throw them in these woods or the garbage.
Oh, yeah. You saw the writing on the wall. You made the choice.
But the overalls was another situation. It was indoor, industrial, winter,
God.
Different vibes.
Was it Ariel International Center? That's what I'm imagining.
Close.
Similar vibe.
It was where Suite 226 is. Your art sucks.
Oh, yeah.
I always forget the name of that place. But Tremont.
Hilarious. Okay.
So fun. Peed my pants at your weddings. If you're lucky enough to be one of my clients and listening to this and you want to know if it was yours, I'll tell you. Just text me. You're the lucky few.
Okay. I'm going to get into some like best man stories. But guys, if you think that best man maid of honor stories are corny, it's because they are. They're bad.
What, the speeches are you talking about?
Yeah, the speeches.
Yeah.
Like the girl is the typical. Can you please give me
here's a standard maid of honor speech intro that we all hear and we all know and we all despise. Never have I ever thought that the girl I sat next to in Mr. Smith's chemistry class would become one of my best friends. To the many margaritas at Cosimo we had in college and the weekly Friday night sleepovers. You know the rest.
You know the rest. It's like a little bit of like hatred towards that person. Like, never would I ever have imagined that I would be friends with you because you're boring and weird.
And I'll never forget that one time you bullied me. It's just like, it is bizarro.
It is so weird.
Just switch it up. But it's like, it's so common. And I get it. Okay, speeches aren't for everyone. Like, you're asking this person, right, who's not a professional speaker.
Right.
So I get it. I get the anxiety. I get it. But like, please switch it up. Switch
Also,
up the cadence. Switch up the cadence.
I think people feel like a responsibility for them to be funny. But like, here's the thing. Your sense of humor, like anyone, is so specific. A speech just needs to be like sweet, nice, well-rounded. And like, it just needs to happen.
Short, sweet, to the point.
Right. It does
Keep
not.
it simple.
Keep it simple, guys. This wedding that I will tell you about is a story. Like, as Jess and I were talking about like shit show stories, I think that this story was such a shit show that like I don't even register the other ones because I was like, this should have been in a Vince Vaughn movie. It was absolutely outrageous. I can't believe it happened to me. And it was a shock to everyone. Okay, so I've renamed my clients in this story Katie and Ron. But for my clients that this is about you. And
Katie and Ron, congrats.
Katie and Ron, congrats. The year's 2019.
Okay.
All the shit we did not know. You know what I mean? Like, what a time. 2019, before COVID, before any of that.
Yeah.
Man, that was the day. It was also like the goddamn hottest day of the year.
Oof.
It was July. It was like the venue was like, it was an indoor venue, but it was like right off the river. And it was just the humidity. Like, you could literally see steam rising from the river. It was so humid. Hashtag Ohio life.
Yeah.
So like, it was like we were all like literally bridal party photos. Everything was so limited because like you couldn't be outside
Their
for long.
threshold for being outside was minimum. Okay.
I literally had to put this bride's hair up. Oh my god! Like,
blow on her
yes,
neck type shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I got bobby pins and gave her an updo. So it's like,
That's not the first time you've done that either.
No. But
Won't be the last either.
Won't be the last. So like, I got this couple from like another couple, so they referred to me. They were super sweet, kind of like a shy, like introverted couple. Like, loved them, loved their vibe. But the groom, his bridal guy, like his groomsmen were very jockey. Which like it was just kind of like a weird vibe, but like, you know, I didn't know him in high school, so like whatever. And the best man speech comes up. It's that time, and it's like a duo deal. So there are two men giving this speech, duo best men giving the speech. It starts out, there were three things that happened. I forget the second thing, so we're just gonna talk about two things, okay? The duo best men come up, and they tell a bad joke, and you think, oh shit, like you should not have said that, but they tell a bad joke about the groom having gotten arrested for like public intoxication, something. Like, let's keep in mind, like, this had happened like 8 years ago when he was like underage, like a lot, like he's a medical professional now, like his bosses are there, like not the time, not the place. So it was like, where are you going with this story? They end the punchline with, but now that he's with Katie, we know that's not the last time he's been in handcuffs.
Oh my God.
Her parents are there. Her grandparents are there.
You know what? The sexual jokes should never be given.
Never. Just leave sex out of it.
I'm cringing.
Oh, I think there was some talk about ex-girlfriends in there. Not sure.
Rule number one.
The crux, the pinnacle, the Vince Vaughn level bullshit that I'm about to tell you is these guys then bring out like huge like poster board pictures of the groom's like most embarrassing moments like him in a dress, him in his underwear. And like the piece de resistance was a picture of the groom who was probably intoxicated in some way, right? Sucking on a rainbow penis-shaped sucker. And they are passing this around the ballroom.
What?
And it is outrageous. It's nervous laughter. And
yeah, I feel like I'm hearing the silence and then like nervous laughter because no one knew what to
do. The only people laughing is the groomsmen table. Which is like, it's just like a surefire way that like, guys.
Okay, this isn't a roast session with your frat bros. This is a legit speech about why you were picked to be a best man and what you mean to that person.
But like, this is what's weird about being a photographer. Is my job is just to be like, guess I'm taking a picture of this. Guess I'm taking a picture of this now.
Oh, God. I guess I'm documenting this.
As the bride and groom's hands are in like head in hands, avoiding the situation, trying to get it over with. They end the speech bringing out another rainbow jumbo-sized penis sucker.
No, they didn't.
And making the groom suck on it once more in front of all his friends, family, and co-workers. And I've got pics.
You have them?
Of course I do. It's my job. It's my job to take pictures of all things weird and fun.
Oh my God. Yeah. I guess from your standpoint, I would have done the same thing. What was the bride doing?
Disassociating.
Okay.
I'm almost certain.
As one does.
And I just couldn't believe the groom. He just did it because he's like, I gotta get this over with.
This has got to be done.
But it was. I mean, honestly, looking back on it, I was like, this has to be in a movie. This has to be like scripted from a movie. This is a bit. But literally the bride and groom spent the entire reception apologizing because it was that weird and inappropriate. And the thing that got me so bad is it was like, if this was just one dude's doing, you could be like, he just went rogue, right?
Right. But
there were two grown men.
This was
a partnership that they none of them at any point were like,
this was a plan made by two adults.
Maybe we shouldn't talk about their sex life.
This is the best.
Maybe we shouldn't make the groom suck on a penis in front of all of his friends and family.
But here's the thing, like, I get there's a time and a place for roasting, right? Bachelor party being one, but like the wedding, we can roast. Yeah, that's cool. Embarrass them, but to bring that out.
Pictures and props.
Rainbow dick.
And
then brought it to action. Said suck on it.
Yes!
Suck on it at his wedding. Suck on it. Suck on this.
It was not good. It was a lot.
You trying to fuck on me? What? Oh my God. That is cringe.
Outrageous.
There's cringe when you hear never would I ever. That's cringe. Yeah, but this is like hot ass secondhand embarrassment.
Oh, it was like the like you just were eating popcorn, can't turn away. Like I gotta keep. God. Ooh, but I mean, good. I'm like, I know I've seen some shit, but like that is what will always like until I see something more insane than that.
Bring it on.
Everything else, it just goes right out. It just goes right out.
That's good, Rach. That's fucked up.
Groomsmen.
Do better,
guys. And just like as a general rule, like if you're nervous about your best man speech, run it by someone. Make sure it's not offensive. Don't talk about sex. Don't talk about exes. Don't talk about any crimes that may or may not have been committed. And don't bring out
the props.
Don't bring out penis props.
Yeah.
It's inappropriate. Okay. So I was just like reminiscing about so that summer that Jess and I had met, and I was like, this girl's got it. Like you didn't have the experience, but I was like, I believe in her. Let's do this. Like, let her shadow me for some weddings. The day I knew you had it, we had been shooting that wedding. His bride's name was, I could say this. The fake name I gave this couple was Katie and Ron.
But it was actually Katie and Rad.
Katie and Rad are this couple. They're not the same. Not the same.
And that was the first wedding I have ever been to as a photographer.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my first experience ever being behind a camera working for a wedding.
And that summer 2018 was like the summer of like, it was my third year, my third summer. And I was like, I've seen it all probably. I got this. But every wedding with Jess, every weekend, I was like, that's never happened to me before.
You always said that. You're like, this has never happened. This has never happened.
This never happened. Like one wedding, like in Ohio when it rains.
Keely.
Yeah, that was wild. That was a wild day.
I feel like that was rain until it was time for their ceremony. It just magically cleared up.
But Jana's wedding was wild. In Ohio, when it rains, it like storms and then it's over. So like usually when there's like a chance of rain for your wedding, it's like you just hope it doesn't happen for the ceremony or for the reception. Like this wedding was the first wedding I'd ever done. It just rained. It's like all day.
That annoying rain that starts in the morning and doesn't finish until the next day.
Yeah.
It's like a constant. It was so crazy.
It was so crazy. Like it wasn't too bad of rain to the point where we couldn't take pictures. So we did. But like, yeah, that was just like a constant year of like, I literally, I hope now that I have seen it all. But the day that I knew that Jess had it was like, this couple had like an outdoor wedding at kind of like a hands-off venue. And so like it was at like a tent out in the yard. And so like the cake lady had dropped off the cake and it was inside. And it was probably like 200 yards or more from the tent itself.
And she made the if I'm not mistaken, the bride made the cake.
Oh,
and she was telling us and her groom was like, I made the cake. I hope the cake's out there because when they would get introduced, that they were to go straight to cake cutting, which is normal. But she's like, if there's no cake, like we can't do. Where is the cake? And I looked at Rach and I'm like so new to this, like really just kind of gathering it in. But I realized I'm working for the bride and the groom, and I'm like, hey, who's on the cake? Like, and I think I had asked Katie, or like Katie was inquiring about it. I asked Rach and I said, who's in charge of the cake that I can go, because I'm basically second hands. Like, you know, Rach is on them and I'm like, okay, I can help out where I'm needed. And she's like, I know that it's in this building. I know it's down here. So
and it was like the caterers didn't want to touch it because it wasn't their responsibility and they didn't want to get responsible for breaking it.
So
and the venue didn't want to touch it for the same reason.
So I go in there to find that and I said, where's this cake? Where's the wedding cake? And they're like, it's in here. And they're like, we were told not to be in charge of it. That's the caterers telling me. And then there's someone from the venue and said, we're not in charge of it. We know the bride made it. We're not in charge of it. And I'm like, who's in charge of the cake? And I don't even have like an assertive personality either. But I was like,
but it was like they were getting ready to be called in. They were waiting for this cake to show up.
They were waiting for the cake to be introduced for the whole thing to start. And so I'm like, fuck it. Give me the goddamn cake. And they're like, be really careful. Like the bride like told us to proceed with caution. We actually were talking about putting it on a truck and getting it up, or a golf cart.
God.
On a golf. It wasn't that big. I'm not going to tell you. It was like,
it was like maybe
it was a 3-tier, or 3-tier. And I'm like, give me the cake. And all of a sudden, Rach looks over and here I am.
Here.
I'm like with this cake walking uphill, like giving her this fucking oh shit look. Like I have the fucking wedding cake that the bride made, handmade.
Oh my God.
And Rach just took one look at me. Her eyes got big. She's like, oh shit, you know, and she went over towards me.
Good job.
And then whoever was there, like part of the caterers, I'm like, you need to help me like get this out of the box and like be presented because they're about to come in. But I did walk across an entire field to get it up a hill to get it onto the stand.
Hilarious.
Fucking rogued it.
Hilarious. Weddings are wild. Our job, like, if you have a good wedding photographer, I'm gonna be honest, not to like gas us up, but like they do so much more than just take your pictures. Like literally the amount of like skills I have now is.
How many times have you like gotten a girl into a dress? You're like sewn her in.
Yeah.
Cut things out of her dress. I've cut boobs out, like the paddings of.
Oh yeah. Like I've literally taken boobs by the nip, pulled them up, gotten the tape around.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. A lot of boob touching.
I know people are like, I'm gonna be in here. Like I'm here to get you in your dress with your parent, and then I start shooting like after you're in it.
Yeah.
Like
one time, like this was like a really low key bride, and they had just gotten like random flowers and had like a friend put them together, and like the bride just didn't like her bouquet. which is like fine. But she like looked at me like, it's so Madison and I foraged for flowers and made her bouquet because she didn't like it. So like it's just like so crazy.
Wait, you did this at another wedding I went to at her house. They weren't tied together. You like put the ribbon on them and pinned them.
Probably.
Whose was that? We were at her house.
I don't know. There have been too many weddings.
Yeah. So anyways, but we do weird shit.
Weird shit. Okay. My other story is another best man story. But this is a story from my past. When I've been to like quite a few weddings in the UK, obviously, because my ex-husband is British. My dog's barking.
I don't think. Do you think it's picking up on it?
I don't know. But yeah, I went to quite a few weddings in the UK, and so in the UK, like wedding traditions are a little bit different. Like, there's not really like, this was a few years ago. I think like some American traditions have like made their way there, but traditionally there's only a best man speech and a father of the bride speech. There's really not like a bridal party. But now there is more, but at this time there wasn't. And so I'm there, outdoor, like tent wedding. So like, also I remember this when Dave and I had gotten married, we had to tell like his brother, like, hey, 5-minute speech, because traditionally in the UK, like it is normal and acceptable for best man speeches to be upwards of 30 minutes.
What?
Yeah, it's like expected.
For what do you have to say about that person that lasts 30 minutes?
I don't know. I haven't had a good example of this.
Okay.
But in this story, this speech, the best man speech, was over an hour long.
No way.
Okay?
No way. No.
The caterers, like we're all in this tent, right? It was raining out, so we're all stuck in this tent. Caterers had forgotten water pitchers. So all of us are just drinking wine to like keep the time going. Awkward speech. The best man wrote a song.
No.
Got up with the band to play a parody song. Didn't mention the bride once. Okay? So it was like this like weird, uncomfortable, like, hey, like I know you guys are best friends. Maybe you'd like talk about how him and the bride are now a united front and you're glad to see them together. But no, it was just like reminiscing on old memories and old nights out and all of this and writing the groom a song.
Oh my God.
And it was so awkward. And like, not to tangent, but like I was at this wedding, obviously my ex-in-laws were at this wedding. I got trashed.
Well,
so trashed.
Naturally.
So trashed because it was like I had
How do I handle this?
Bottle of wine.
How do you handle that situation? For an hour, what are you supposed to do? You're like trying to comfort yourself from the awkwardness.
It was so awkward. So yeah, I guess another just like tip is if you're giving a speech, make it about the couple.
Or at least, okay, here's the thing. Some people don't know the couple that well.
I know, that's sad.
That's sad too. But it's like, if you don't feel comfortable in that, just be like, say one thing that you noticed in your friend that the other person brings out in that person.
Right, or just lie. Like, no one's really going to like fact check you. Just say nice things.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Don't make it an hour. Make sure people have water.
Don't sing a song.
Don't sing a song. I know
the girls. Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing. I'm going to disclaim the rap. The rap is weird if you got nothing else. But I was at a wedding where this girl fucking killed it.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm saying like I said, she was like swaggy. She's like a swag girl.
Yeah.
So she like
if you got it, you got it.
But it's like she like raps in general. So if like someone told her while she was drinking a rap, she would like own that shit. So it's like that it came from her. It was on brand. If that's something on brand for you, keep that. That's fun. That's you. Your friends will appreciate it. The crowd loved it. I'm surprised it didn't go viral because it was good. But If it's like you have something like that's fun for you, go ahead and do it. But like, no more of this. Margaritas. Back in the day. I just can't.
I just thought of another story
Okay.
of a wedding I did recentishly, within a year. At this venue, outdoors. It's great. Like the day's kind of like high pressure, high anxiety, like
As most are.
yeah, as most are. It was like the bride and I had made a plan and just no one was following it. People weren't showing up. It was stressful. But something happened that like I'd never seen before. It's a ceremony. It finally happens. All is good.
That's sort of a story.
You know this story?
No.
All is good, and it gets to the point where you turn to the best man for the rings.
And they do that joking like, I forgot it.
Yeah, but it wasn't a joke.
But he fucking
He didn't have them.
Oh, you did tell me
And he
this?
just like looked at the couple like, what do you want? I don't have them. Don't give it to me. And the bride, I mean, I didn't even, literally, it was one of those moments where like, I didn't even have my camera up. I just looked at her and I was like,
What do you?
remain calm.
Yeah.
Just look, and she was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And the groom was like, shit, they're in my truck. They're in my truck.
Oh my God.
So there's this groomsman just sprinting.
So you guys had to wait
Yes,
in the ceremony?
We had to wait.
Wait,
'Cause
okay.
I was like, just go on. Just forget about it. She's like, it was just like, it was like the officiant, didn't know what to do. And they're like, guess we'll just wait. And, it's just like that rustling
Yeah.
of people talking to each other. Like, what?
And like laugh it off awkwardly. Wait,
But-
listen to this. This is a 1 in a million story that I forgot. I was second shooting for our friend. I don't know if she wants me to name her name. It doesn't matter. This is a true story and it's very
Okay.
funny. And so they're about to exchange. Rings at the ceremony. And I can't make this shit up. I forgot about it. Okay. So he goes to put it on her finger and he like shaking and he like drops it and they're on this platform thing. We're at Windows on the River.
Oh, okay.
So they're on
Yeah.
this little like stand where their ceremony spot is and it's indoors. Listen to this shit. Can't make this up. The ring falls off this little stage, rolls and into a vent. The ring fell into the vent. It was the girl. It was the girl putting it on. It was his band. So the bride dropped it and it fell into a vent and they tried to get it and all the groomsmen were trying to help.
During
And
the ceremony?
During
It was
the,
like
I mean,
a panic?
everyone stopped. Oh yeah. She tried to laugh it off and she seemed like klutzy and like ditzy and that was her personality. That was fun. So she was laughing it off. Everyone was laughing it off. And they're like, we just have to get it after the ceremony because it like we really had to do some like maintenance. So he finally got it like after the ceremony, like probably like 15 minutes after they got it out. But like, what are the odds it like falls into the vent?
Oh my
It didn't
God.
like go down, so luckily they were able to get it. But like, what are the fucking odds? See ya.
Oh my God. Okay, I have another one actually.
Okay.
One time I was shooting a wedding. I was second shooting. This was like my first year. And it was the photographer I was working with had sent me only one address. And so I headed to that address, which was the church.
Talk about stress.
And I noticed that there was like blockades. There was a parade going on that was going to go on. And so I called the photographer. I was like, hey, I can't get to the church. How did you get there? And she goes, oh, no, I'm at the reception hall. That's where the girls are getting ready. And I was like, oh, well, I am going to the church and there's no way to get there. And it was like the instant panic mode. It was a holiday weekend. Like they totally forgot. Like, I don't know how the church didn't let them know.
Yeah.
But like literally the roads to get to the church were blocked because I don't know. It might have been like 4th of July or something. And there was like a huge parade going on downtown Canton. And so I just head to the venue and this was like the ultimate good, like, bridal party. Like, they're not bothering the bride. They're not letting her know. They're handling it. They're talking to the police, like, letting them know. And luckily, the weather turned, which is usually nothing you want to hear.
Right.
But the parade had gotten canceled because of thunderstorms. So good. Everybody gets to the church. Lightning strikes some sort of box on the church. Lights go out for like 40 minutes. No AC, hotter than hell, dark as shit. It was just like one thing after another. It's like my first year, and like I love like solving problems and stuff.
It's fun because it's like adrenaline.
It really is.
Adrenaline.
But it was like, ain't nothing solved here. You just gotta wait.
Yeah.
It was absolutely outrageous that whole day. But then, you know what? In the end, they still got married, still had a great day, like still made the best of it. Storm passed, took dope pictures, like it all happened. And so, like, regardless of like all the crazy shit that can happen at weddings, like if you keep in mind like your goal, right? Like your priority and, you know, marrying each other, like there's nothing you can do about your weird drunk uncle or like.
No, I mean the day's happening. It's you're in the day.
Yeah.
So whatever that looks like or wherever it happens, it's like it's the end goal is still getting married.
Yes.
I had a wedding. I could kind of go to this real quick, but I had a wedding on the day of the protests of last year.
Yeah, I remember
which was
that.
Wild. So we did.
It's already COVID. Like already, this couple had to like replan shit,
revamp pretty much everything. So they had downsized their wedding. So they had to like uninvite people. They were still going through with it. Went to a church. Went and did photos. They heard about the protests. We knew the protests were going. You could see them from their hotel where they were getting ready. And then we kind of saw them as we were going. They got a party bus. We did the photos. And the bus driver's like, hey, they're closing down streets. We have to get back now. We had to cut photos short. We hopped on the bus. We went to their spot downtown in the Flats. I ended up finishing their photos there. And then after speeches, the dad came on the microphone and said, I hate to do this, but the world is happening around us right now, and it's out of our control that we have to leave. This establishment is asking us to leave. And so the plan right now is to go back to the hotel. So I go up to the bride and the groom and I said, I'm here for you. My time, like what I'm contracted for is up, but I understand like these circumstances aren't what the coverage you wanted. What do you want me to do? She's like, I wish you could stay. And I said, okay, get in my car. I'll drive you to the hotel. I have the bride and the groom in the back as we drive through Public Square, as we drive through the riots that are happening.
Yeah.
And she gets a call and says there are cars on fire in front of the Hilton where they were supposed to go. They're not letting anyone in the hotel. Any guests, nothing. She freaks out. I'm like trying to play this like 2000s upbeat music, trying to keep that vibe going. And it's
God.
me and my sister just like trying to ride the situation. I'm like, whatever you want to do, we will take you. Then all of a sudden her close friends, like dad owns a bar in Lakewood, and she's like, we're going there. She's like, I asked my dad to open it up. We're going there. We go drive to Lakewood. I get the bride and the groom out there trying to keep it cool, whatever. We drive to this bar. All of her friends and family are crossing the street as we're pulling up. It's like perfect timing. She sees her friend whose dad owns the bar, and she hugs her, and they start sobbing together.
Aww.
It was such a crazy moment, such a crazy day. They ended up finishing their first dance and speeches up in the bar in Lakewood, and it was dope, and it was so cool, and everyone partied. Did we follow COVID rules? Probably not, but it was like, whatever. We're doing it for this couple. We're finishing it for them.
Right.
It's their day. But we fucking uprooted that shit and kept continuing the party. It's like, we're going to make this happen some way or another.
Right.
We were thinking, I'm like, what do I do? I'm like calling Joe. I'm like, do we go to our backyard or what? Like, I'm like, are you ready to have all these people over? Like, because it's like, we have to go somewhere and we have to figure it out now.
Right.
Crazy.
It is so weird. Like, your photographer, like, they are the closest person that you will be with that day. They're going to be the person that you're with the entire day. That's something whenever I have like an inquiry, like a consult, is something that I say is like, whoever you choose, like, may it be me or not, like, just make sure it's the person you can imagine spending an entire day with.
Mm-hmm.
Your most stressful day, your most joyful day, like make sure it's someone you laugh with, can have fun with, someone that you trust, like not just like that would take great pics, but like that you would trust to.
It's a ride or die situation.
Yes.
Like, and when I'd offered her that ride, like there was no brainer. She was like, yeah, okay. She's like, John, we're going with Jess and Britt. Like, there was 100% trust there to get her to where she needed to be, wherever that would be.
Yeah.
Couldn't have been the hotel or wherever it was going to be, but.
Crazy
job. We love it. We do weird shit.
I know.
But we're here for it.
All right. Thanks for listening to our impromptu.
100% impromptu. I'm telling you that we had a pretty deep episode planned and we were like, not in that mood.
No.
Straight up. Just we're like, let's do something fun.
We're both just like dressed like total 90s babies. Like clearly just in the mood to like gab. So we appreciate you guys. We are loving all the feedback. Keep it coming. Keep the episode ideas coming. Keep reviewing, and subscribing. We appreciate you. Subscribe on our YouTube. That is helpful to us.
Also, photographers, if you have funny stories, we want to hear them.
Yeah, we do.
Like, I would love to even do another episode and just read fucking wild stories because
I know
they're a lot of fun. And I feel like people, when they hear I'm a photographer, they ask about these stories.
And
I'm like, yeah, I pissed my pants. But other than that,
that's not like the one I lead with.
Right. So we would love to hear it if you got him, because that would be a fun episode as well.
Yeah. Next week, we have a great episode. We're interviewing someone who's going to talk to us about having a good relationship with food, which we all need to hear, I think. Jesus Christ. And on that note, God bless you, Jess, and good night.
Good night. Love y'all.